The new Elvis biopic is tremendous, and personally, I think that Austin Butler deserves an Oscar. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Film Reel. My name is Nathan, and today I'm going to be telling you why I think the new biopic Elvis is tremendous. Elvis was directed by Baz Luhrmann and stars Austin Butler as Elvis Presley and the wonderful Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker, the manager of Elvis Presley. Before I do tell you why I love this movie so much and why I think Austin Butler deserves an Oscar for his performance, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to be notified every time I upload. I upload every single Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And if you do enjoy the video, let me know down in the comments down below. Hit that like button. And with that said, let's talk about Elvis. This movie is about the life of Elvis and his relationship with his manager, Colonel Tom Parker. And personally, I love this story. It's always interesting. It's always compelling throughout the whole entire 2 hours and 49 minutes of runtime. There's not a single moment where I thought it was dull, where I was bored. The whole entire audience in my theater was screaming, crying, laughing the whole entire way through the movie, which is a very rare thing for movies like this. But the performances and storytelling, everything about this was just so amazing. Speaking of the performances, we got to talk about Austin Butler as Elvis, and wow, he did a phenomenal job. Everything about his performance was Oscar worthy. His stage presence, the choreography of the dance moves, his accent, the way he sang some of the songs. This movie really made you believe that that was Elvis up on the screen, and that's what Austin Butler does so well, and that's what you want for an Oscar-worthy performance. This movie was also very energetic. The music was energetic, the performances of Austin Butler were very energetic, and I can't not talk about this movie without talking about Tom Hanks' performance. Tom Hanks was playing Colonel Tom Parker, the manager of Elvis Presley back in the day, and wow, he just did such a good job. They played it off as if he was a villain from a blockbuster, which I didn't really like because this is supposed to be a biopic, but the way Tom Hanks portrayed him, as I said with Elvis, you couldn't really tell that it was Tom Hanks. You could tell that it was Colonel Tom Parker. That's how well the performances in this movie were, and I thought Tom Hanks just played such a great con man. You could see everything through his vision as the story was telling. He didn't feel as if he was the one manipulating Elvis. He didn't feel he was in the wrong. He just wanted all this money, but in the end, he was this big villain. He was a con man. And I just think Tom Hanks' performance throughout the film, the setup of his villain, the payoff at the end was just great. Baz Luhrmann was the director of this, and he is phenomenal. He also wrote this, co-wrote this, and it's evident because this film is always on the move like most Baz Luhrmann movies are. Now, I watched one of Baz Luhrmann's other movies, Romeo and Juliet, and I absolutely hated that. That is one of my least favorite films of all time. But this movie impressed me, and it impressed me a lot, and it takes a lot to impress me, and I love the directing, the way Baz Luhrmann was writing this, everything that he wanted to tell about Elvis's life, the tragedy, the rise and fall of Elvis, and he did this in a creative way. He told the story of a poor boy who wanted to get money for his family. That's all he cared about. He stole black music him. Then once he got up on stage, everyone was impressed by him, and then people went wild after him. Critics went wild after him because they wanted him in jail because the way he moved, the way he stole black music, and Baz Luhrmann just did such a great job telling this story. He also added some cool effects in there, not really CGI effects, but he added some creative things to make this story a bit more compelling. The music in this film was also very good. Of course, you'd expect it to be because it's an Elvis Presley biopic. They chose a lot of popular, good, groovy songs made by Elvis, Hound Dog, Jailhouse Rock, Blue Suede Shoes, Suspicious Minds, put a lot of good soundtrack in there. Of course, as I mentioned, the performances were phenomenal, but I think the songs really fit the movie, even the ones that weren't a part of the performances, the ones that were just in the background. Although there were some modern songs, pop songs, that didn't really fit in the movie. I don't think that was that big of a deal, but I just thought it was pretty unnecessary. But overall, the music in this was very, very good. Now, I know the title of this is Elvis is Tremendous, but there are some things that I am going to criticize about this movie. For example, this movie is 2 hours and 49 minutes long, and the first hour of this is extremely rushed. They go from plot point to plot point. They talk about how Elvis went to the army because people didn't like the way he moved, people wanted to arrest him, and they just kind of threw that in the movie, forgot about it, and I didn't really like how they did that with a lot of the plot lines. That kind of affected the movie in a way for me, but it didn't stop me from being entertained, as I was entertained throughout the whole entire movie, as was my theater. Also, Tom Hanks' character I don't think was written all that well. There were some times where I feel like he could have been used more, sometimes where it didn't really feel like he was a con man, but Tom Hanks' performance made it absolutely amazing and made the character very interesting. Overall, I'm going to give this movie an 80%, an 8 out of 10. And if you like musicals, biopics about famous artists, if you like Tom Hanks, you should go see this one. There's a lot of really good Oscar-worthy performances in here, and I think if you can stay for an almost 3-hour long and you enjoy the music of Elvis Presley, this is a must-see. Thank you all for watching. This is my first video, and I'm really grateful that you clicked on this video and you went all the way to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to be notified when I upload. I usually upload every Saturday, definitely every single week, so stay tuned for that. Comment down below whether you're going to see Elvis or not, or if you already have seen it, did you like it, did you not? And with that said, goodbye.